Hey everyone, it's Monday, so it's time for another time of Q&A here with Pastor Sean. So last week I mentioned that your questions are kind of difficult and overarching, and so you sent me some harder ones, which I appreciate. So we will take a look at those this week. And remember, subscribe down below, leave some comments, leave some questions. I do my best to answer them each week, and let's see what my little box gives me today to answer. Let's see here. What YouTubers do you watch? Okay, that's an easy one. Thank you. So that one, Tom Vassell, over at the Dice Tower. I watch him quite a bit to learn more about board games. And he has videos just about every single day, which is really nice to see. Also, for painting, for my miniatures, I watch Miniac and Tabletop Minions. I enjoy both of them quite a bit. And there's also, for working with the church, Brady Shear. I watch some of his stuff as well. So, all ones that I will gladly recommend, and I will try to include some links to them down below in the description. So, all right, let's see here. Is hell the here and now? My short answer would be no. Right here and now is earth and life and God being completely present. So I wouldn't describe that as being hell. There are times I can definitely see why you might want to think that, because life can be trying, life can be hard, there's natural disasters, there's all kinds of stuff going on. But is the here and now hell? No. And for me, I believe that if there is a hell that people go to, it's pretty dang empty. Because God is just so full of love that God's going to take to God everyone that God possibly can. So if there's a hell, I would say we're there by our own choosing when that moment comes. So, all right. Let's see here. How can you be faithful even when everyone wants to cause division? How to be faithful? Well, I mean, you could go with the whole what would Jesus do idea and all those bracelets that we all used to have. Although there are times we can't do what Jesus would do, such as if we hear someone's dying, we should just go ahead and go and see them, because we're not Jesus and we can't bring them back to life. But how to be faithful? Pray. Pray for peace. Pray for understanding and of yourself. Pray for the ability to forgive others. And just be open to people. Love them. Listen to them. And when people try to cause division, say, no. I want us to be one. I want us to be loving to each other. We can disagree. Differences of opinion doesn't mean to hate each other. It seems to be a prerequisite now. We all go into little cliques and little groups, which is not really good for us. We enter little echo chambers where all we hear is exactly what we want to hear and nothing else, which leads to even more division. So I believe part of that as well is being open to hearing the other side. Being open to hearing different things that you're not used to hearing. Now, after doing that, you might still disagree. You might say, this is against everything I hold dear to myself. And that's okay. But just be willing to hear people and to take the good and to see people as people. And not just affiliations, not just each individual thought they have a little checklist where if you don't match exactly, then you're out. But we're all just sinners in need of a loving God. We're all going to mess up, all make mistakes. So we see each other that way, and we keep on exposing ourselves to more and more stuff around us. I think that will help us be more faithful. And just keep praying for that strength to do that. All right. Let's see here. What is my favorite book of the Bible and why? Is the next one, what's my favorite child that I have? That'd be kind of about the same. My favorite gospel was Mark, just because it's the shortest. Well, that's not the reason why. I like it because it's the first one written, and so for me it's the first one that kind of came into being. It's the first one that people have able to see. Matthew and Luke kind of take a lot of Mark and just kind of add stuff to it. And John did his own crazy thing much later on. I like Micah. And my favorite Bible verse comes from that, Micah 6:8. So, yeah, I guess those ones. I like Revelation for what it is, which is talking about, living in the world today and not worrying about what's going to happen because, God's going to take care of it all, and not to align ourselves with anything besides God. I think that's a message that's heard correctly, and I think that's a really powerful thing to hear. I enjoy Genesis and hearing all the different stories of how we came into being and how we kind of live in a very messy world. Oh. So, I'll give you a bunch of answers. Work for you? All right. Let's see here. Okay. How do you feel about trans community, trans people? This kind of goes in line with last week's question for me, which is that God made us all just differently, with a big, diverse way of being. And I think you should be loved. Really. You are who you are. I think it takes a lot of strength to be willing to go through all the process that it goes through. To recognize that, yes, this is who I am, that's who I'm going to be. And a lot of people aren't going to understand. A lot of people are going to say very mean and cruel things to me. But I have to be who I am. It takes a lot of strength. So I'm going to lift that up and honor that. As well as say, again, you are loved. And I hope that you're surrounded by plenty of people who support you and love you and care for you no matter what. So that's my simple answer is I love you. Be you. Alright, let's do like one more and then we'll save some for next week, I suppose. Let's see here. How do you differentiate your faith as evangelical Lutheran from mainstream perception of evangelical Christian practices portrayed in the mainstream? So, for those that don't know, I'm a member of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. Evangelical not meaning what typically people think it means. For us, the use of that word very much means we are the ones who bring the good news of God. That's what the word originally meant. That's how we used it when we first came to existence. And I understand the baggage that word comes with. And it's not easy baggage to carry because then people hear what our name is and make a lot of false assumptions, which can make for very interesting conversations. I was at one point approached by a local Christian radio network to start doing a show on their channel, which for a variety of reasons wasn't going to work out. One, it was fairly expensive, and two, our faith just did not align. Somehow in our church, we are open and welcoming and loving to all of our LGBT siblings, did not sit so right with them. And they want to make sure that if I did something on their channel, I would never mention that. I can't do that. I believe in a God who's very graceful and loving and caring, and if I can't express that, that's going to be an issue. So what do I do with the mainstream perception? Well, we have the name and we keep on loving. We keep showing that being Christian doesn't mean to be judgmental. It doesn't mean to look down on other people. It's not to be holier than thou. But being a follower of Christ means to love and to serve and to care and to meet people exactly where they are and not where we might want them to be. When we do that, we try and realize that God is a lot bigger than we think God is. God works in a lot of ways that we never might have even thought of. So, yeah, just keep on loving. That's all I can really do. Do I get frustrated when I see that word being used for not so much love? Yeah. But I can't do much about that. All I can really do is just keep loving and caring and proclaiming that it's about bringing the good news of the love of God. And that's it. So, that's my questions for today. Hopefully you enjoy, you learn something. Please send in some more questions, no matter how hard or how silly or whatever else. Just keep sending them in. Leave some comments below. Subscribe. And look forward to seeing you on next week. See you later on.